Hello folks, Krishnendu here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a special guest and I'll be inviting over this person who has been designing a lot recently. He's gone to a design school, and if you see down to the right of the screen where you're seeing, there's a small logo that I use from my YouTube channel, and the person who designed this logo is a special person. We have a guest here. Come over please here, Mr. Arjun Gupta. Here you are.
Hi.
That's Arjun.
Hi.
He's the classmate of my son Mail, who came back. If you click here, you will see when he came back to India after 6 months, and they're meeting, spending time together. And yeah, he's the one who is into design. Do you have anything to say about design? He's studying design in Hong Kong.
I'm studying design in SCAD, which is Savannah College of Art and Design. So I'm doing my first year in Hong Kong, and then I will be moving to Savannah and hopefully spend some time with Mail in the US. But I'm studying game development and interaction design. It's like a dual major sort of thing, which I'm also planning on minoring in industrial design because I'm really interested in automobiles. So let's see how it goes so far. I'm just sort of enjoying myself in college, getting to learn the basics. I've always been into art. I've always been somebody who loves to draw, right? And just getting into the technological aspects of it. It's been an interesting journey so far.
10 years ago when I used to know him, it's been decades now, almost decades that I know him, and because he was studying with my son all the while, he was a very shy kind of a guy, didn't used to speak much, but now he's outspoken, extrovert, and yeah, keep going. We're enjoying your company.
Oh really? Thank you. No, I was quite an introvert earlier on. I'm sure Mile knows. He's known me for years now. He's one of my oldest friends actually. But I was quite an introvert earlier on. I was somebody who didn't really like socializing very much. Sport. I got into sport and I got into the gym, and both of them sort of helped me develop self-esteem. Really.
You see how he's built?
Flexing for the video. Flexing for the video.
How's the design going, by the way?
It's fantastic so far.
But you've overworked, right?
Sorry, a little bit, but it's all good work. Honestly, I love what I do. So I'm working 8 to 10 hours in like a proper university day. For just coursework. But it's not something I mind doing because honestly, I love what they teach.
You're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. See, the thing is, if you love what you're doing, then you can't really call it work, can you?
Right,
something that you're doing for your own enjoyment, really.
Right,
and
correct.
Sure, the workload is hard, and I don't really get to sleep a lot, but it's something that I really enjoy doing.
He's a PC fan and he's an Android fan, right?
Yes. Which is unorthodox for a design student. Yes, I don't like Macs. I don't like the OS at all. I don't like Apple products at all. And that comes as a surprise to many people, right?
Yeah, it came as a surprise to me as well.
Yeah,
because we were discussing it at length last night and even today morning, and pros and cons and so on and so forth. So
right. No, see, the thing is, again, I understand that Mac and Apple products will run design programs, and basically design works better on Mac, right, and Apple, but it's always been sort of like a personal preference for me, and I can't really justify it except to say that I'm just not comfortable using Apple OSs. It's just that. I know it sounds a little strange, but I've always been someone who prefers the PC and Windows over Mac OS.
Were you talking about your design, the way you enjoyed designing stuff? Could you please tell us how you made a choice of your design school?
Oh, okay. Well, see, the thing is, I was, as I've always been into art, I've always been a huge gamer. I've been into video games forever, right?
You've done competitions as well?
Yeah, I've played Counter-Strike tournaments. But basically, I've always been into video games, I've always been into art. And I've always been into cars and design in general. Design in general is something I've been passionate about for a long time. I had science in classes 11 and 12, and what my parents wanted me to do was, at least what my mom and my parents were leaning towards, was engineering. See, the thing is, I got decent grades in class 10 and we just jumped onto the bandwagon, and we were just like, science offers scope. So we're going to go and go into science because scope, right? It's bullshit. At least, well, I wouldn't call it that. Again, that's a little harsh. But again, I don't think it's for me. If I would rephrase it, I don't think it's for me. And I honestly realized that after the first 2 months of class 11. But due to circumstances, I just told myself that, hey, just get 2 years of classes 11 and 12 over with, and then we'll see what we want to do, right? And over those 2 years, I was still, for my first 6 months in class 11, I leaned towards the idea of, hey, maybe I can do engineering for a college degree, why not? But then obviously as time goes by, school gets tougher, classes get tougher, and then I just really realized that this is not for me. This is really not for me. It's not like I don't have the aptitude for it, but I just am not passionate about it. I know I'm smart enough to do it, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I explained that to my parents, and thankfully they were really understanding about
it. Basically, parent support is very important,
yes,
right?
It is.
There's something that we are not always accustomed to in our country,
exactly.
and where most of the time it's science, physics, chemistry, math, and bio. I mean, either you be a doctor or an engineer, or you're a dumb guy, basically.
Right.
Yeah, it was the case with me too. So yeah, I mean, it's the case with everybody. I mean,
of course.
Fortunately, the man behind the camera had some support, and he could quit school actually almost and go out and play.
Right.
So, but how did you choose your school?
My school? Well, again, I told my parents I wanted to apply to art schools and I wanted to pursue design, and they were like, sure, you know what, go for it, because science is not for you, and if you really want to do this, you can go for it. I mean,
which school? How do you
I'm telling you. So basically, I looked up schools online, right, and I looked up good art schools. And SCAD, SCAD ranks as one of the best in the world for, like, it ranks as one of the top design schools in the US and in the world in general. And I applied to a bunch of schools and I got into almost all of them. It's just I chose SCAD because we have 4 campuses. We have a campus in Hong Kong, we have a campus in Lacoste, France, and we have 2 campuses in the US, one in Savannah and one in Atlanta.
So both in Georgia, basically.
Georgia, yes,
right.
Both in Georgia. And I picked SCAD because the idea of sort of living in Hong Kong and the US and France, and my friend Mile, of course, because Savannah is near Atlanta, right? And of course, I have a campus in Atlanta, and that's where Mile is. So I mean,
because he's staying in Decatur and Lawrenceville, right?
Yeah,
and that's pretty close to where you plan to go next year.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's around a 3-hour drive. But anyway, I picked SCAD because, again, obviously it's a great college, it's a great school, and one of the major reasons I picked it was because of the campus, the worldwide exposure I would get if I were to enroll myself in the school, which I did. So I'm living in Hong Kong right now. I'm going to finish my first year in Hong Kong, and then I think I will probably move to Savannah for my second year in fall of 2019. Another reason I picked the SCAD is because they offer a lot of freedom in terms of what you want to do. Because see, another part of design is that many people know they want to get into the design industry but are uncertain in which regard they want to go to because they're interested in so many different things. For example, me, I'm also like, I've dabbled in film editing. I would like to explore photography. I'm not proficient in it in any regard, but I would like to explore photography because it's something that really intrigues me. I've been very, very invested in video gaming, and game development is something that I would like to do. But there's so much of exploration to do, right? And the thing with this school is that it lets you explore for as much as you want for the first 2 years.
That's excellent.
Yes, exactly. That's probably one of the main reasons why I picked this school, because they are letting me basically explore as much as I want. Like, I can dabble in film, editing, video game design, interaction design.
Brilliant. Could you please tell us then, what advice would you have for somebody who's looking to go into design? What should he go for? What should he do when he's high school?
I would say, a portfolio is extremely important.
You had a portfolio?
Of course. Yes, I submitted a portfolio to all the schools I applied to. A portfolio basically will consist of your best work.
Okay.
Around 10 to 15 pieces of good work you consider worthy enough to submit to really high profile art schools. I feel like a portfolio is very important.
And you did that without any training?
No training. I took a help from friends in terms of artistic design and artistic opinion, and a little bit of technique, because I was just trying to hone my skills, right? So I was taking as much help as I could, but no training, none whatsoever.
And that helped you choose the school?
Yes, I think portfolio is very important. And again, see, as a design student, many people will tell you that, it's not something you should go into, especially in this country. But just if you really want to do it, right, and if you really want to get into this field, and if you feel like you are willing to work hard enough to be successful, go for it. Please don't let anything stop you, because honestly, if you believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, then anything is possible, really.
Excellent. So folks, I think over here we got a pretty good insight of two very important factors, actually elements. One is that the pressure that children are upon, even now, this is 2018, and still children have pressure from their parents of just doing engineering and be a doctor or something like that. And there are other options which we really don't explore, we cannot, because of this pressure. And we have Arjun here, and also we have my son Mile, and these are typical examples of where you can break these stereotypes, get off the bandwagon and do something else on your own, right? I mean, thanks Arjun, thanks for your insight, and I think it's a great thing, and thanks to your parents for letting you choose what your own stream. It's fantastic. Just give a big thanks from my side, and maybe you can share the video with them and say that yes, we are thanking them. And thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being there.
Thank you so much.